Quote, "Am I going to jail? Shocking moment. A 6-year-old girl is committed to a mental health facility without her parents' permission, where she was sedated and kept from her mom for 2 days because her school said she was, quote, out of control."
Where is this?
So this looks like it's, let's say, Florida. Go figure.
Of course
Florida.
it's Florida.
Before we read the story, I have to point out a classical episode of South Park, which you may have seen. It was an episode about ADD, and they were like, this, I'm gonna ruin the joke, I guess, because it's been so long since I've seen it. But there's a video where a doctor's like, I have a non-medicinal treatment for ADD. And so he shows these kids in chairs, like bouncing around all crazy. And he's like, notice the child is not paying attention and is very exuberant with lots of energy. And then he's like, now the simple solution, without any medicine. And he walks over and he whacks the kid in the head and goes, sit down and shut up. And then the kid stops moving. And he goes, now you'll notice the child has stopped misbehaving. And then he walks on to the next one. And he's like, notice this child is not even paying attention to me. And then he whacks him. Shut up. And then the kid just stops. Anyway, they're making an interesting point about how I don't think smacking the kid is the right thing to do.
Right.
But it shows how, I don't know what happened with boomers. I blame boomers. I'm sorry. I blame a lot of them. Not all of them. There's some good ones.
Okay.
But you have a bunch of these people who want to be the cool parents.
Yeah.
And so when the kid's acting out, they're like, whatever you say, I'll go buy you the beer and cigarettes. And it's like, how about you be the adult?
I know.
And tell the kid,
like that.
well, you know what happens because of it? You end up with millennials who are doing that to their cats. So instead of having kids to discipline, they're just having cats. And when the cat scratches them, they go, oh, silly baby, you cut my hand open. Yeah, you're going to say something?
Now I'm cat crazy.
Yeah, you get toxoplasmosis.
Well, my parents always used to tell us, because my parents were not typical boomer parents. My parents used to tell us that you will have lots of friends, but you will only have 2 parents. So they were going to act like parents, and then you go out and make your own friends on your own time. And
reminds me of American Dad. There was an episode where the dad, Stan, becomes friends with his son, and then like his son gets trapped in a gorilla enclosure, and then the adult gorilla is talking with his son gorilla, and the son gorilla is like, the gorilla's dad is like, give that kid back to his father, and he's like, but his dad's letting him play, and he goes, that's no father, he's being a bad parent. Like the gorilla knew better. Anyway, let's read the news.
Good one.
Police body cam footage has emerged of the moment a 6-year-old girl was escorted from her elementary school in Florida by a group of cops before being committed to a mental health facility after an out-of-control tantrum.
This is insane to me that they would call the cops. Look, she's just standing there. What?
Look at this little kid.
She's just standing there.
Like a little kid had a temper tantrum, so they called the police.
Yeah.
Like, how ineffectual
why wouldn't
are
you?
you?
Call the parents.
Why wouldn't you just put her in timeout?
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude, it's. Have you heard the stories from Chicago, though?
What?
In Chicago, they're putting kids in padded rooms. And just like locking the door and leaving. Solitary confinement.
In schools?
Yeah. They have like padded rooms.
They have padded rooms?
Yep.
Wow.
And they'll take the kids who are having tantrums and lock them in solitary and just lock the door and leave. And there was one kid, he was like 7 years old, crying, covered in his own waste, saying like I made a mess because they wouldn't let him out. He'd go to the bathroom or something. Yeah, it's torture. They're torturing kids. Let's read let's read a little bit of this. But I got worse news for you. They say,
oh wow.
On February 4th, 6-year-old Nadia Falk was taken to a mental health facility without her mother's permission after staff at Love Grove Elementary School called social workers claiming the girl, who has ADHD and personality disorder, was throwing things and harming staff. A 6-year-old girl, dude. Come on, man. Seriously. Nadia was taken to a mental health facility where she was sedated and held for 48 hours without seeing her mother, Martina. Now Martina is also speaking out about the horrifying ordeal, and questions over why the child was treated so harshly are being asked. In Florida, children may be removed from school, transported to a psychiatric facility, and held for up to 72 hours without parental consent if there is reason to believe they have a mental illness and they are unable or unwilling to accept voluntary treatment.
That's so gray.
Martina expressed her hurt at seeing the footage of her child being taken from the school in Jacksonville before being sent to a River Point Behavioral Health Center.
She was so calm there.
It doesn't even matter.
She was just like, dude. Yeah, right. So you're taking me away. It's like,
and it's like, what? No one's dragging her away. She's just walking with them.
She's walking. She's like,
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Ridiculous.
I think you got a little kid throwing a tantrum, and you got lazy school workers who are like, I don't want to deal with this.
You've got the parent here.
You've got exactly the entitled generation being like, not my responsibility.
Take her away.
No one is taking responsibility. These kids are going to grow up to be like seriously deranged.
Yeah.
And like sadistic.
And it's this whole thing. It's the whole system.
I kind of can't believe that they're allowed to hold children
For 72
For
hours.
Yeah, that's
72
nuts.
Without even telling their parents. Because I was going to say, I feel like that mom has a really good case against the hospital
Yeah.
and the school.
Yeah.
But apparently
legal.
not.
But it's
That's
legal.
ridiculous.
Hold on.
It's legal under
No.
the Baker
Mm-mm.
Act. What?
No. See, y'all don't understand.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
This is real?
More than 30,000 children under age 10 have been arrested in the U.S. since 2013, according to the FBI.
That's insane.
30,467. In what reality does it make sense to arrest children? Now hold on. Now, if there's a 7-year-old kid and he's got a gun or something, sure, I get it. If there's a little kid and they're nuts, you ever see the what is it what was it a movie called Prodigal Son or something with Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin? I think
The
it was
Good Son.
The Good Son.
Yeah.
And like the one kid was a sociopath and
Yeah.
sadistic, and
that was a good movie, actually.
I haven't seen it in like.
It was actually good.
But okay, I get it.
It was crazy, but
If, let's say you got a 9-year-old, and he pulls out a knife, because there have been stories about kids, hurting other kids. Maybe he's a sociopath. Maybe he's gonna, hurt a dog or something. That makes sense. I don't know exactly what the context of these arrests are, but I've seen so many stories about little kids getting arrested for dumb things in school. We've seen the story from Chicago about the kids being put in the padded cells.
yeah.
So we've got a serious problem with adults who won't take responsibility. I don't know what happened or when it happened, but it reminds me of that saying. What is it? Hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. Have you ever heard that?
No, but it makes sense, yeah.
It's been so long since our generation, not even our generation, our society had real responsibility.
Yeah.
That now it's exactly what we were saying with this 6-year-old girl. You get this little girl throwing a tantrum and they go, not my kid. Not my responsibility.
I get the vibe that that's probably what her parents are thinking too. Nah, not my responsibility. Whatever.
The school's supposed to take care of it.
The school will teach her.
It's the me society.
Yeah.
Everything is about what's for me, and that's why we're ending up with. What's really funny? What did you call Bucko? A love slave?
Animals, yeah.
Yeah,
all,
animals.
All pets.
All pets are love slaves.
I mean, that's what they are.
So where it used to be that you'd have a kid, and you earned love by being a good parent.
Yep.
And it was difficult. We
Yep.
now just capture small animals, give them names, and chop off their balls.
Yep.
And now we have love slaves
Yep.
that will, their family line is over, but they provide us with that satisfaction of taking care of the smaller life form.
Yeah, exactly.
It's for us.
That needs you.
It's all for us.
You are needed. And it's a thing.
And now what ends up happening is when you put these kids, the actual children, the next generation, or this is called, I think it's called Generation Alpha, like 6-year-olds right now.
Oh, okay.
Man, they're going to grow up to be, it's going to be like, you ever seen Batman Beyond?
Yeah.
So you know how like,
Oh, wait. Is it the cartoon?
yeah,
I haven't seen
it's
that
the future of Batman, and there's the Joker gang.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
So it's like there was the Joker in the earlier times, and then in the future, basically copycats form like the Joker gang. That's what it's going to be. These kids are going to be like the Joker. It's like if you in the Joker movie,
yeah.
when he says, "What do you get when you take a mentally ill man, and you abandon him,
Yeah.
and then make fun of him or whatever,
Take away all his, all the help that the government was giving him.
and then make fun of him."
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think's going to happen when you have 30,000 kids? Now so actually, this story is prompted by the arrests of 2 6-year-old students in Orlando. Once again, Florida.
Florida.
Good job, Florida.
Well, I mean, right. We talked about it though.
Look at this.
All their records are.
The officer
public,
got fired.
so-
The officer got fired.
Oh, wow.
Who restrained one child's hand with flex cuffs mirrors a persistent problem confronting law enforcement and schools with thousands of children arrested annually and treated like mini adults.
AKA
Dude.
just criminals.
This is crazy. You know what I think the problem is?
What?
Our current society is completely immature and hasn't grown up.
I agree.
I was thinking about this because I was wondering why all of our presidential candidates are in their 70s.
Yep.
Okay, not all of them. You got
Pretty much the front runners though.
right, the big names. I mean, now you got Buttigieg, who's I said Buttigieg, by the way, who is almost, he's a millennial. He's 38. But I was thinking about it, and I think it's this because I don't want to talk. It's not about politics. It's about people our age do not view themselves as parents. They do not view themselves as having a responsibility to these kids.
Right.
So when the kid shows up, they're like, I don't have any kids on purpose. I don't want to deal with this. Call the police. The police can deal with it.
Yep.
And then when they're looking to leadership, they're not thinking I should do it. They're thinking they should do it. And they're pointing to the older generation like this is your responsibility, not mine. At a certain point, I feel like we lost that sense of no one's going to do it but me.
Yeah.
And you had people who are like, I must run for office. Now, of course, we have a lot of millennials, who are in industry and are being successful. But I look to what's going on in politics, and it says to me, and this specifically, that these people are permanent children, and they don't feel that they have any responsibility to any of these kids. So let the police take care. Let the government take care of it.
I see a lot of that in the adulting is hard meme.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, adulting is hard.
Adulting is not hard.
Well,
Seriously.
Learn how to be an adult, and
you're
it's
this
easy.
age now,
it gets
so-
easy if you just learn how to do it.
you need to practice
we
it.
talked about school doesn't prepare you. Yeah, true. But you can either do two things. You can sit and say, adulting's hard, woe is me, or you can learn how to be an adult and do your thing.
They won't do it, man.
I know, because
Like,
they're lazy.
if I had to begin to explain to somebody how to start multiple businesses
yeah.
and set up all of this,
Right.
like, mind you, when it comes to the cameras, the computers, the monitors, the tech and everything, the graphics, like everything for my channels I have done completely on my own. And now that we're doing this new show, now I'm bringing in people like Adam, who actually, Adam built all this, did
Yep.
all of this.
Yeah, I built it.
Did anyone teach you how to do, like, did you call for help and like call your dad and say, Dad, how do I put foam on boards?
No, but I actually have called him in the past about specific trade things.
I just-
'cause I grew up in the trades, but
no,
I didn't. I built this all I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to build.
Right, exactly.
And I did it.
So, like, I don't know what it is. And I'm not saying you can't call your parents for advice.
No.
I'm saying, like, did you say, someone else please do this, help me, I can't do it?
No. But if I saw, I've been yelled at. I taught skateboarding for a while, and I would always teach, probably like
Yeah, there you
6
go.
to 12-year-olds, and I have like 40 cousins and all sorts of kids in my family. So I've always been around kids. So the kids don't scare me, and I talk to them and whatever. But, I've had parents get angry at me because their child was rude to someone else, to another kid, and I'm like, hey, you don't talk to other people like that.
Don't
you
tell
know?
their snowflake.
And they're like, whoa, what do you do? Did you just like tell my kid
My
like
snowflake.
how to be? And I said, yeah, I did. Like, what?
I'm teaching them.
And that kid liked me a lot and was like, no, I want to keep in his class. I want to keep with
Careful
him.
with the pounding.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's like it resonated with him. He didn't get mad at me. He didn't get angry. He actually was probably a cooler kid because of that.
It's like, I think it's kind of like what Jordan Peterson talks about.
ridiculous.
That kids actually like discipline and being given responsibility.
Yeah.
And they don't respect, and people don't.
Exactly. They lose respect. They lose the respect for even their own parents when their parents, they see it. They're smart. That's why, I talk to kids like they're adults, like they're humans.
Right, exactly.
That's how I do it. And it's like, when you talk to a kid like a kid, they're like, oh, you're treating me like a kid again. They're smart.
Well, hey, then I'll tell you what, maybe
Their kids
arresting
are
these
smart.
kids, then maybe getting arrested is the right thing, huh? Because, hey, you get a quick, cold dose of the real world.
It's jumping way past what they need, like way to the future when they're
Lock 'em up.
they're not criminals. They're trying to figure out how to be humans. No one's taught them how to be humans yet.
Yep.
How are we arresting them?
Well, I don't
It's
know.
ridiculous.
Yeah. We're going to say something?
Yeah, so I think that they just need structure. And that is not in the form of being arrested, and it's also not in the form of being spoiled to death.
Well,
It's really a balance.
Yeah, well, we
between
have-
those two.
We
the
have two
structure's all
extremes.
gone. The structure's all gone
You-
in America.
you know what's
We
real-
don't have that anymore. We don't have like the classic, the man and the girl have a kid and then they grow up in the same household with all the same friends and the same neighborhood and go to school together with the same people. It's like that does not exist anymore. We're so fragmented.
Yeah.
So everyone's doing their own thing. They're so caught up in trying to live in this world because adulting is so hard.
This is crazy to me because, growing up, I think it has to do with the people who are active on social media, who tend, upper class, college educated, whatever.
Okay.
And so adulting is hard because it was always done for them. Either their parents did it for them or the school administrators did it for them. Their teachers told them what to do and how to do it.
Right.
They never had to figure it out on their own.
Yeah,
so they
exactly.
literally think it's hard to be an adult. I'll tell you what.
No, you're just lazy.
When you want to start a business,
That's what I'm thinking.
I'll tell you, it was not easy.
Yeah,
starting.
you got to work for it. You got to choose.
No,
what you-
but like I had no idea how anything worked, and they sent me this big packet of forms, and they're like, "There you go," and I'm like, "What am I supposed to do with any of this?" And they're like, "No one ever taught you or anyone else. The laws of each state are completely different. Good luck."
Yeah.
And I was like, I figured it out. It was not easy. Seriously, there's very you know what? I don't get stressed by a lot of things.
Okay.
Neither
do I.
The things that stress me
same
out
way.
are like, I don't know if there's like explosions and bullets flying.
Yeah.
And filling out all these paperwork, all of the forms, certificates. It is not easy to start a business in this country. Now, it's probably easier than some places, but man, it was ridiculously convoluted, complicated, and inconsistent.
Yeah.
And now, even now, I'm confused. And you know what the funny thing is? Like, so now I have an accountant, and it's basically like everyone's confused. Whatever. Just give the IRS what they say when they want it. They'll tell you what they want, and they'll basically leave you alone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever, man. Hey, It's been fine.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. Tax season's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We're live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want to catch the full recorded podcast, which doesn't appear in these clips, make sure you join by clicking the button down below, become a member, and then go to the community tab of this YouTube channel, and you can see all of our full episodes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to get more clips like this. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all in the next show.